Well, that's a shame. Salome, it's good to see you up so early. It's good to see you up at all.
Good morning, Papa.
Going outside? It's just good to see you up and about.
I'm meeting some friends.
So early? Have some breakfast first.
I'm not hungry.
Salome, your friends can wait. Sit. Have a peaceful breakfast with your papa. You've barely eaten anything since... It's been days, Salome.
Thank you, Papa, but they were expecting me before daybreak.
Who are you meeting?
Mary and James's mom?
Is this something to do with your dead friend Jesus?
In a way, sort of.
I see. And what is in the bag? Flowers and plants from my garden.
Spices to anoint the body. I was just thinking, maybe I could see him just one more time. For assurance.
Salome, you saw him days ago when they killed him. I assure you, nothing has changed. He's dead. Leave the man alone.
I just want to put spices on him to preserve what...
Preserve what? What preserve? He's dead. What do you need to preserve? Smell this. Salome, this... It's a beautiful scent. Why put this on something dead, which is supposed to have an odor? That is, after all, why we bury dead things.
Papa, you don't understand.
No. Salome, you don't understand. I've barely seen you in 3 years. You've been off running around with this Jesus person. He's been taking you to see lepers and tax collectors and prostitutes. My own daughter going to visit prostitutes. Now the law has tried him and killed him, and that same law is looking for his followers now. And Salome, you could get in a lot of trouble.
But he was Messiah. How could they have treated him like some common criminal? They saw the miracles that he did.
I know. Sit. I know that you thought he was a good man, and it made you happy to learn from his teachings, I know, and he did do many miraculous things. This I know, too. People loved him for a time. Just last week, when he rode into Jerusalem, they were singing and waving the palm branches. It was a good time, yes? It was an important time for you. You should keep those memories. Don't remember him like this.
I don't want to just remember him. He wasn't supposed to die.
Then you keep his legacy alive by settling down, getting married, have children, and then you tell your children, my grandchildren, tell them your stories. Tell them all your stories. Salome. My girl. It is good that you went out and discovered Yahweh in your youth. And I'm glad that you made friends, I am. But that time in your life is over, and it's time to get serious about your life.
Jesus isn't just a hobby. Papa, he was my everything.
Your everything? This you say to your papa? Are you sure you won't have some fish, Salome? It's good fish. It's expensive fish.
No.
Do you know why the fish is so expensive? Because your Jesus convinced the fishermen to stop fishing, so now there's no more fish. And at this time of year, when the lamb and the beef are going to the temple sacrifices, this is not even a temporary shortage. He convinced them to drop their nets and follow him all over the countryside.
But I know.
Fishermen are a special breed, Salome, and they have their place in society. But that place is in boats and fishing, not in the temple telling good people how they should live.
That's just it, Papa. He transformed lives. He took morally lost causes and turned them around.
Which is the temple business. These are things that Yahweh, through Moses, has instituted laws and rules and ways for these things to be done by the priests in the temple. There's no reason to bring fishermen or carpenters or anyone else into the temple business. Would you want a shepherd being your doctor if you were sick? Of course not.
You should have heard him, Papa. Papa, his words made so much sense. It's truly amazing who he is.
Who he was. He was a person. He had a family. And I'll tell you something else about his family. From the time that his parents were wed until he was born, there was slightly less than 9 moons. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know.
Nobody even knows what happened to his father. And he had this crazy cousin John out in the desert dunking people in the river for no reason. What is this about? No, his father Zachariah, John's father, struck dumb in the temple by the Lord. The Lord does not strike you dumb for being righteous, Salome.
John was there to prepare a way for Jesus. You've told me all of his justifications. These are things that once again Yahweh has provided a way to bring these things about in the temple. And you didn't hear?
What?
The temple curtain ripped right in two.
I'm sure they can fix the temple curtain. Unless your Jesus convinced all the tailors to follow around the unemployed fishermen.
And do you know how the curtain was torn?
No, I don't.
It was torn by Yahweh. It was torn by Yahweh because they killed Jesus. Why does Yahweh care that Jesus died? Because Jesus is the Messiah.
The Messiah is supposed to save Israel. This Jesus couldn't even save himself. A few days ago, a Roman tried to save him, and you saw how that turned out.
He gave us a life to emulate. Healed sick people, raised people from the dead.
Left no one to emulate his life enough to raise him from the dead, I see. That's poor planning on the part of your Messiah, Salome.
I was there.
I know where you were. You were not at home.
And when he made the blind see and the deaf hear. No amount of arguing can take away what I myself have experienced with Jesus.
Don't preach at your papa at his own table. Salome, look at me. I love you, and I've barely seen you for 3 years, and now you're home. I just want you to make good choices, and right now, Jesus is not a safe choice.
So you would rather have me stay here?
I would rather you were safe. I would rather you were protected. That is a father's duty to his child, isn't it?
Well, I'm glad Yahweh didn't say that to Jesus before he came to this world.
Well, maybe he should have. Because now he's dead.
Why don't you come with me?
I don't even want you to go.
Well, he is dead, right?
I've been telling you.
Well, if he is dead, let me say my last goodbye. For closure.
Will you eat something before you go? I don't want you growing faint on the way. It's not so bad. You put a smile on your papa's face. But Salome, if you see any Romans or Pharisees or Sadducees, anyone taking names, anyone, come right home. All right, you be safe.
Yes, Papa.
And still she goes. Even when I win the argument, I lose the argument. Of course I won the argument. If it was an argument. Maybe it wasn't an argument. At least I got the last word in, yes? Of course I did. Whoa. Whoa.